Today at TFT Wood and Homestead, we're gonna take this hideous wall behind me and
turn it into something awesome. It's super easy too. Look at this. Okay, it's not that easy.
Look close.
Yeah, all right. So we're gonna break it down and show you all the steps. Here we go. Now we gotta start off by cleaning the wall.
Yes.
So Wallplanks has their own cleaner right here. It is made by Wallplanks. It's environmentally friendly, ready to use, made in America. All you do, shake it, spray it, wipe it, microfiber cloth. And she's gonna tell you other things while I do that.
This video is sponsored by Wallplanks. Eco-friendly, fantastic product, right? A fun way to give your wall a little pizzazz, a little glow up, DIYer's dream. As you can see, Zach is working his magic on this wall here, wiping it down with that cleaner. It dries pretty quick, and while that is drying, the acoustic sets are what we're going to be using, and I'll show you real quick.
Tell them why we're doing acoustic ones, because I think it's awesome.
We're doing acoustic ones because this is the master bedroom, and I think we're just going to leave it at that.
I like it.
Why would we not? Why are we doing acoustic?
That, and because this wall, see this plug right here? It has a TV that's mounted up here.
Oh.
Which means noise right there. And on the other side of that wall, we have little kids that like to sleep. So,
I mean, there's that as well. So if we want to watch a movie or use the master bedroom, I don't need sound leaving this room. So acoustic wall planks are fantastic. I'll show you what they look like. They're fabulous. They come in a variety of wood types. These are the mahogany.
I'm still laughing over here.
You know what? I'm just here to entertain, okay? But they're gorgeous. There's a slight variation in every one, so you get a really nice natural look. And this is the best part. Are you ready? On the backs, there's this fabulous sticker. And literally, you can peel and stick, press it on, and it's like that easy.
Should we see how sticky it is on Trisha's face?
No, don't stick it on my face.
All right, fine.
But it's not like a messy install, right? It's clean, it's quick.
Next, after this, let's measure it though, because people need to know how to measure the wall and figure out this stuff.
He wasn't listening when I talked instead. While he's doing that, we measure. But yes, measuring is important because this is how wide they are, right? You can see a hand's width essentially. So you need to be able to estimate how many square feet of the product you need. So Zach ran out to get a tape measure.
When you're figuring out the area that you need to cover with the wall planks, just measure height, width, all that stuff like my lovely wife said. But then you can figure out the square footage each carton has, and then just divide it. And personally, I would add another 10% because nobody figures things out perfectly. Maybe for me, I need 25% extra. Maybe I need 100% extra because I'm not good at measuring sometimes.
Listen, that's actually a valid point. Not you're bad at measuring, but if you're gonna do a design, you can actually make a really beautiful like herringbone design with these, or you can have fun, cut them at angles and really just make the wood pop to life. And so you're definitely gonna have cutoffs for that. So
the angle one, actually, the herringbone design looks awesome. I think it looks really cool.
Oh, it's gorgeous. It's super.
We're not gonna do that because that's a lot of cuts. So we're not gonna do it this time. But
I might do it in my dining room though, because I think it's fun. But anyway, there's that.
Here we go. All right, we measured it. We knew how many we needed. Are you ready? Let's go. Next step is, what's it called?
Rack them out.
Rack them out. We're gonna rack it out.
We're just gonna lay it out so we can kind of get a visual. Like I said earlier, there's a little bit of variation in the wood grain and pigments. So we just don't wanna have it like solid dark, bright, solid dark.
So here's the one we're doing right here, all right? Mahogany. It comes in a pack or in a carton of a bunch of them, along with, I'm gonna reach past here, here we go. Comes in a carton with a bunch of them, along with some screws. It comes with a bit in there.
Perfect.
So yeah, it's a square bit, good quality, dark screw right there.
And you only need 2 screws per plank. So it's really easy. It's honestly, it's just a reinforcement.
Yeah,
there's
the
already
sticky
an
part.
adhesive. Exactly. So you just don't want them popping off. All right, so let's rack them out.
All right, so as you can see right here, these acoustic ones, there's felt on one side and wood on one side. So they recommend in the installation instructions that the felt goes against door frames and light sockets and all that kind of stuff. And honestly, before I read the instructions, I lined it up that way with the wood up against it. And I thought, oh, that looks all right, but it looks kind of weird. And then I read the instructions and said to put it the other way, and I tried it again, and it actually looks a lot better.
Way better.
Yeah, it does.
Just a little handy tip there. So we're gonna move these aside. We'll get it ready.
Make sure you have your J roller.
Make sure you have your J roller. You're gonna need it on this next part. Let's go.
Here's your J roller. It's a J roller because it's a J.
It's a J.
And it rolls.
Fancy
Look
that.
how good this rolls.
So good. I feel like this might be good for massage later. We'll see. I don't know.
Maybe turn.
Oh, okay. This is not what it's intended for. Oh yeah, I don't hate that. Okay.
Don't hate that.
That's great. Don't tangle my hair. Let's do this.
Okay. Make sure you pick a good spot to start. I know the door will be a high focus area because people go in and out of the door.
Yes.
So I'm starting on the door frame.
Which we know is straight edge.
Straight edge.
There's that.
So we're gonna build off of that though, but obviously it will all go over towards the wall. By the time I get to the wall, I might have to scribe it and cut it. We'll see. I don't know, fingers crossed, it'll line up perfect.
It's gonna be great.
It won't, but here we go. All right.
So on the back
side
of your wall planks is this fabulous adhesive. You can just peel the paper off.
Look at that.
It's nice and sticky. There's little strips.
Oh, that's very sticky. That's very sticky.
Very sticky. Great. That's what we want. Don't make it all dull.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life. I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
I knew the end, I would have to scribe it. That very bottom piece, my wall is kind of leaning like this just a little bit, so it wasn't too bad. I was able to kind of manipulate it in there just by cutting a nice straight line along the felt. But this one, I'm not gonna be so lucky. I need to cut the wood. So basically I measured out the width, kind of turned it upside down, smashed the felt against the wall because you want even felt between each panel. It would look weird if you just cut the felt at an angle and that the wood got slightly closer to the other wood instead of the wall taking a little bit out of the wood. So I flipped it upside down and then marked the distance from that wall to the wood. And that's where I got little lines there and there. So from there, I'm gonna take it over to the table saw. I might actually do it a circular saw because I can set up a straight edge and just follow that.
How's it supposed to feel?